Snowflake, and get subscribed. We're gonna be covering Nvidia, and let me make sure it's gonna pivot. So we started the Nvidia stream. Okay, yeah, we are good there. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna see you guys over at the Nvidia stream. I'll see you guys. All right, guys. So here we are today. Watching the SPY here. Here's Nvidia on the chart. It should bring you over here. Again, Nvidia bounced up a little bit short term, starting to pull back a little bit now with the market itself. We back. Let me know if redirect worked. It should have. I'm pretty sure it did, but you know, I always want to be safe. There we go. What's up, team? Yeah, I don't know what gold's going to do, guys. I really don't know. A lot of people asking about gold today. I don't know what gold's going to do. Make sure this is monetized. That's good. All right, team. So yeah, Nvidia earnings drop at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. We did break 400 and we did break 108,000 subscribers today, guys. Whoa, ABD, stop spamming the gold comments, my guy. Thank you. All right. So yeah, today here, guys. Again, today we got Nvidia, we got Snowflake, we got Splunk, we got Digital Turbine, we've got American Eagle, we got Guess, we got Red Robin. Actually, pretty good burgers at Red Robin. I'm hungry, by the way, man. I need some food. About to ask Carol if she can make me something since I'm working. I think I got some enchiladas. I'm about to eat some enchiladas. What should I eat right now? We got enchiladas. We got chicken pot pies. What should I eat right now? Let me know. Yeah. Goldfinger, yeah. Those movies are hilarious. We recently watched those with my daughter. They're just good. The Austin Powers movie. I heard he was a jerk. But all right, guys. All right, guys. So we're still pumping up a little bit. So yeah, we'll pull it back down a little bit. All right, so Nvidia bumping back down. Again, Nvidia pulling back down a little bit. Down to 300 here again. We'll see if it holds support there. Sorry, doing some business stuff in the background. Yeah, market's a little bit flat. Hold on one second, guys. Again, Nvidia breaking down a little bit. I'll put the expected numbers up on chat here. So Nvidia is expecting 91-cent profit on 6.52 billion in sales. So bear with me here, guys. 6 point. Let's see what this is. We'll see if it hits it or not. Data drops at 4 p.m. I think it's at actually 4:20. We'll put this number up as well. We'll put this data up on screen. Sorry, dealing with business. So again, this wasn't the interest rate decision. Nvidia is literally going to drop 20%. Hey, we'll see. It might. I don't know, man. I'm gonna wait to see what happens, but yeah, we'll see. Again, SPY dropping down here. Let me see what we got. What's up, Tony? There also could be investors waiting a confirmation about AI increasing profit. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to say AI a lot. I think that's probably a pretty expected thing. I think AI has been huge over the last couple weeks. And I think that's something that again, Nvidia up to 300s here. Again, we got the SPY breaking down. It's at 410s. Yeah, gamble. We'll see. Again, just be careful. Nvidia, again, AI hype should make Nvidia do well, especially with like, didn't AMD get banned overseas? Didn't AI get banned overseas, or not AI? Didn't AMD get banned overseas? Yeah, isn't it AMD? Or no, is it MU? Which one was banned in China? I said they go full on AI, give GPT access to the most advanced 3D printers and robotic assembly line imaginable, and then give it all of our blueprint and programming knowledge. Yeah, it'll be fun to see what happens. Again, Nvidia up to 300.4s. Yeah, so Nvidia's on the left side here. So Nvidia's on the left. Again, Nvidia breaking back over 300. Again, the SPY is at 410.50s. 410.50s. AMD and Nvidia got, yeah. So is Nvidia as well that got banned in China? I trade a little bit of everything. We day trade, swing trade, invest. So we do a little bit of all. So we're at 301s for Nvidia right now. 301s. Again, the SPY at 410.60s. Nvidia up at 301.12s. The SPY at 410. Let me watch the Q here. So people have been talking about Bed Bath & Beyond as well. Here's the Q on the left side. So the Q is at 330s right now. Nvidia at 301.60s right now. Again, SPY at 410s. Again, Nvidia bump it up here. So maybe some news came out ahead of this. Forward PE is 50-ish. For Nvidia, yeah, if we look at the Nvidia PE ratio right now, the PE ratio is about 176. That can't be right. 176? That's crazy high. Low. High. All right, sorry guys. Been dealing with some Carol's calling me. All right, we're at almost 302 for Nvidia, guys. Almost 302. So Nvidia's actually running back up. You can kind of see the previous closing price is right here at about 300, or no, the previous closing price. Let me look at where this is. So the previous closing price is still well above where we are now. So like the opening high is what we're talking about here. So the opening high is right around this level at 303. Nvidia's been on a huge tear, and 176 is a crazy high PE ratio for this. So 176. Nvidia was 400 right now. It'd be crazy, but 5064 PE isn't that much. But yeah, but isn't I mean, forward PE doesn't mean anything because it's just guidance, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think we have to look at what the actual PE ratio is. Maybe this Nvidia earnings report will clear some of that up, but it's crazy high. It's like 176. All right, so up to 302s. And again, we still got some time. We started the stream really early because the FOMC minutes report closed, so we still got some time. They had a massive one-time call. Somebody poked the E-mini. I think it's broken. It's sideways, I bet, right now. The whole market's flat. The Q's flat. The SPY's flat. Everything's kind of sideways. All right, guys. All right, so we're up to 303s now. So we're not breaking over the top of that range here. All right, so again, testing that 303 level. We'll see if that level acts as resistance or not. Again, we're up to 303. Part of me's up, the SPY up to 411s here. So the SPY's actually rebounding here. And again, we're in Disney right now. Disney's starting to bounce back a little bit as well. PayPal is still down on the day, but not by much. We're also still in JP Morgan, but we're pretty neutral in that one as well. Gold is still not reacting the best, but tech is moving up a little bit short term here. And Nvidia included in that. We can look at the EPS graph. Again, SPY up to 411s now, 411s. Yeah, let me do a poll. I don't think we did a poll on this stream yet, too. So bear with me. We'll do a poll. Pun intended, I guess. Did a poll just now live. We're going to do a beat or miss poll on Twitter as well. Q's starting to move back up. Let me see. Trading. Got about 400 people here. We're not going to put in sub OMO yet. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. All right, so we're going to do a poll going live right now. We're going to make it a couple hours long. And so we got the Nvidia poll as well. So vote on that poll. Looking at this number here, about 53% think they're going to beat, 54% now, 46% think they're going to miss. Again, Nvidia just ripped over that previous market high. Over 303s is at 303.40s right now. 303.40s. Watch the chop. Yeah, again, guys, we still got about 40 minutes. I'm going to put a timer up here. About 39 minutes, 25 seconds is what we'll call it. This is when the earnings come out, about 40 minutes here. Look at the SPY ramp up at 412s right now. So the SPY is flying up here. Again, the Q has just made a huge turn up here. Let me see. Play the reaction, not the earnings. Yeah, I mean, you guys know me. I don't buy up anything ahead of these big reports. Yeah, I don't know why the market's flying up right now. I'm trying to look it up right now. White House press secretary says the debt ceiling negotiations remain productive. Says the president and House Speaker McCarthy will speak when the time is right. I think that's making the market move up. That just came out about 10 minutes ago, and that's when the market started to move. So I'll put this up on screen. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Yeah. Yeah. So market's flying up again. I'm pretty sure this is from the press secretary saying negotiations on the debt ceiling are doing well. Yeah. So again, this news came out about the White House press secretary saying the debt ceiling negotiations are going well. That's probably what's dragging the market up. That's been dragging the market down a lot today. So that if they're getting more optimistic regarding this, then that's pretty good. And again, everything's starting to rebound back up here. Again, Nvidia at 304s right now. SPY at 412s. Again, Nvidia at 304s. SPY at 411s. Fed minutes show official split. Tech trades high before the drop, and vice versa. Snow strong. Yeah, Snow drops their earnings today as well. We can look at Snow. But the whole market's rebounding back up. I think it's on the debt ceiling talk, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to see and wait. Um, Again, SPY at 412s. Such a nice feeling to be up enough for the day that I don't need to enter anymore. Yeah, I mean that's a necessary thing for sure. AMD's flying up. What I like to do is build up a cushion first, of course. AMD is breaking over the previous closing price, and we'll see how that gets influenced by Nvidia as well. Again, looking at our poll numbers, 60% people think they're going to beat, 40% think they're going to miss. And so, we'll see what happens here, guys. We're watching it. Still pumping up a little bit in the market. At least Nvidia is. AMD's moving up. The SPY's moving up to 412. So it's starting to bounce back from the opening weakness. The previous closing price is at 414.09 here. 414.09. All right, guys. So at 405s or 305s right now, 305s. Again, we tap 305. SPY pull it back a little bit now too. Bar for Nvidia set really low for some reason. Yeah, I mean, Nvidia's just been pumping up lately though right now, man. I mean, Nvidia, if you look at the really long-term chart here, it's at around 300s. I didn't expect further gains, but the expectation for earnings are low. Yeah, I mean, earnings are expected to show up again, guys. They're expected to show up at 91-cent profit on 6.52 billion in sales. So again, we'll see if they hit these numbers, but yeah. Again, if we look at the EPS graph for Nvidia, if we pull up Nvidia's earnings graph, so here is the EPS graph for Nvidia. The trailing 12-month EPS is only about 174, which is not super high. Now 57's here. The last one that was around this is going to be up here at about 9. The last one that was higher than what we're expecting today was all the way back here in 2022, at the beginning of 2022. The last 4 quarters have all been lower than this. So if Nvidia hits over 64 cents, it's still going to be the highest EPS, which is profitability that they've showed in a long time. Let me look back on this here team as well. Let me look at the revenue graph. All right, so again, quarterly, you can see 6.6 billion was last time. The highest revenue they had was at 4/30 in March or April of 2022 at 8.3 billion. Today they are expecting 6.52 billion. So they're expecting higher revenue than they've had in 2 quarters in about 6 months. And again, we'll see if we actually hit it or not. But right now, again, you can see on the bottom of the screen, they're expecting 6.52 billion, 91 in sales. Again, Nvidia up to 305s, 306s, SPY at 412s right now, 412s. I'm very curious why this market keeps pumping while we are closing. I'm pretty sure it's the debt ceiling talks that are going through here. Like, I'm pretty sure the debt ceiling talks are getting better. Again, if you look at the bottom of the screen, the press secretary said the debt ceiling negotiations remain productive. Says that the president and House Speaker McCarthy will speak when the time is right, they say. It's still ramping up to 306 here. And so Nvidia is getting a lot of bullish action ahead of the opening bell. It's right up to 306. All right, so again, still bumping up. Again, I can only assume that Nvidia is going to hold 305 on this pullback, but I have no idea, and I can only assume that this is from the debt talks and the debt ceiling negotiations here. I don't know if it's a trap. I doubt it's a trap. It sure would be nice if we get a debt ceiling deal tonight. Yeah, the market would pump up. Again, we talked about potentially buying the dip if the dealing was going to go through here, but who knows, man? Again, you never know. It's never defaulted in history, but of course, anything could potentially happen here. So, like, it's never defaulted in history, but anything could happen. So we'll have to wait and see, but yeah. Again, we're at 306s. Again, Nvidia at 305s, SPY at 412.30s. NQ just witnessed a stop grab by some market maker for sure. Something bigger is going on here. Yeah, I don't know. The market's ramping up here. Again, I'm assuming it's the debt talks. I'm looking at the news right now. All right, so the SEC is reviewing FRC to look for signs of insider trading by employees, according to Bloomberg. That's interesting too. Again, we're down to 304.20s right now on Nvidia. 304.20s here. SPY up to 411 or 412s. Again, so Nvidia at 304s right now. SPY out of 412s. We still got 20 minutes, 22 minutes until the numbers come out. I'll move it in unison. All right, so again, Nvidia dipping down to 303.70s. Yeah, I don't see other news. I see the press secretary saying that the debt ceiling talks are remaining productive. So that's got to be good. Again, Nvidia at 304s. And so dip down to 304s. SPY at 411. So SPY pull it back a little bit. Part of me wants to buy the dip, and I might in the futures market here. We're already up a bunch on the day, though. So I don't want to give back too much profit, taking trades based off of this. I'm really just not sure why that we're getting such a huge run up and everything so far today. I mean, it's good for me. I'm in some swing trade positions, so that's good. But yeah. What's going on with AMD? I see AMD moving a little bit. AMD's running up with Nvidia, so like tech is moving up more than anything else. Here's the Q. So the Q was up to like 332.30s. So the Q's popping up as well. But yeah, it's mostly tech here. So tech is looking stronger than the SPY right now. SPY is testing that previous closing price at 412s, but it's still struggling. Needs to start up again. I'll buy Nvidia now. Yeah, I mean, there's an argument for it. I don't mind this little pullback here, but I don't want to buy up anything ahead of earnings. We got 18 minutes until earnings starts. Again, we're down to 304s. 304s. SPY at 411s here at 412s. Disney's about to back up. It's over 89. And again, Nvidia at 304s. Here we got the SPY at 411s or 412s. What do you mean by earnings start? So earnings come out at 420 actually for Nvidia. So we still got a little bit of time here. Yeah, Disney's about to back a little bit, but Disney all the way at 89s now. Who? Yeah, I don't. Oh, Tina Turner. Okay. Tina Turner songs are Proud Mary the Best, Private Dancer, Better Be Good to Me, I Don't Want to Lose You, What's Love Got to Do with It? So again, Nvidia pull it back to 303s. Part of me wants to buy it, but I know earnings drop in like 15 minutes, and that's risky. No, I know Tina Turner. Dollar Tree earnings, we'll see how they go, you know. Again, Nvidia at 303s, 304s, SPY at 411s, 412s. So again, part of me wants to buy the SPY here too, but I don't know if it has to do with the debt ceiling talks or what. I'm looking for earnings guidance as well. Again, Snowflake drops their numbers. They're expecting 5-cent profit per share on 608.7 million in EPS. Earnings actually come out at 420 market time. So they're coming out, at least that's what they're scheduled, but earnings don't actually have any specific time where they have to come out, right? So like they might say 420, they might drop at 405 or 410 or 415 or 430. You don't really ever know when they're going to go live, you know? Yeah, Nvidia for sure, scariest stock out there. I mean, Nvidia, the problem, I like Nvidia, but it's up so much the last 20 days or the last like 6 months that it's kind of a crazy high, you know? So like it's up a lot, but it's still just really, really high up there. And so, yeah, that's the only thing. So it's just up a lot. Now, it doesn't mean it's not strong. It's a strong company, of course. It's a big company. It's a strong company. But yeah, be ready, guys. Nvidia numbers come out at 4:20 market time. Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all helped me break 408 or 108,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate that. So thank you guys so much for that. That's amazing. I really do appreciate it. There are no dips to buy yet. Otherwise, it would be in. I mean, there's some stuff dipping, just specifically the last 24 hours. But yeah, 408,000 yet. A coming soon. You know. Thoughts on C3? There's SPY, man. I should have bought a video on that dip at 303 because it actually bounced back pretty strong. And Intel has just not been strong. What's up, Tiny? Intel has just not been strong, though. Intel has been one of the laggers in the microchip space, so they just haven't been super strong. I'm in Disney some, Benjamar, but I'm not like crazy big. What I did was I ended up buying Disney originally at like 91, and then Disney ramped up to 94, and I took profit, most of my position off. Now I'm still holding a little bit, and I might add back here at the bottom, but like for Disney, I ended up taking, if you look at this, I ended up taking most of my profit off, about 250 shares or so. At if we look at this, let me show you. So I ended up taking most of my profit off on Disney. So I ended up taking most of my profit off on Disney here. You can kind of see the exit. I got out right around 94, anywhere between 93.80 and 94.04. So I got out right around 94. That's where I took the majority of my position off. And then we ended up buying back a little bit on the dip, and now we're just kind of sitting back waiting in it. So we did buy some. Market's actually flushing all the way back down here too. And get Nvidia at 305s. SPY pull it back down to 411s here. IONQ, man, it's been a while since I've even seen that one. All right, guys, we got 9 minutes here. And before the first quarter earnings go live for Nvidia, I'm also going to throw it in sub-only mode here, guys. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We cover all the major market news, all the stock market data. We cover Nvidia earnings. We cover Tesla earnings. We covered the Fed minutes report. Tomorrow, we've got GDP data. Friday, we got PCE data going live. So we just got a lot of that data coming out. And to announce yourself, show us that you're subscribed. We appreciate the love here for sure. And again, we'll see what the market does today. Kind of patiently waiting here. Again, there goes Disney bouncing back at 89 here. Again, part of me doesn't want to add to it anymore. Again, I think there's just risk in adding back to it. I put my savings into put options. It's a pretty bad move, bro. What's up, James? I'm done for the day. See, Houston getting beat by the Milwaukee. All right, so again, SPY popping back up. Nvidia's still well up there, man. Everything else is basically falling back down. So it pumped up. I think it pumped up on the news that the debt ceiling talks were getting better. Microsoft also says that an investigation found China-based Volt Typhoon targets U.S. critical infrastructure with living off the land techniques. What? Oh. Microsoft uncovered malicious activity focused on network systems. Yeah, hopefully. So Fed Waller says that the current view is unchanged by debt. We'll see if that continues. Again, Nvidia is still up there to 306 here. We still got about 5 minutes before the closing bell. We do have Snow coming out with their numbers too, so I'll put SNOW here. This is a big stock that is software company. Again, they're expecting 5-cent profit EPS on 608.61 million in sales. Yeah, I saw that, CT. I mean, the Blue Jays, bro, they're one of my favorite teams, bro. They got Bo Bichette, they got Vladdy. They're solid. Kirk, they got Alek Manoah, George Springer. They got some killers for sure. Again, Nvidia up there at 305, Snow at 177. Disney still tried to hold. Intel up there to 29s here as well. If Nvidia drops to $200 tomorrow, I make $1 million. Yeah, but the likelihood of that is incredibly low. You're basically betting Nvidia is going to drop 35% today. That's a pretty big bet. They would have to have really bad earnings, which I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it's just unlikely, brother. It's just unlikely, man. Again, we're up to 36 on Nvidia, 36. Yeah, good luck, guys. Again, we got about 2.5 minutes left. We'll see if we get a pop. Tech has been bouncing back and then pulling back. Yeah, good luck, Maker Shaker. I hope you make money, bro. I really do. Good luck, dude. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say what's good or bad news. You know. Hey, hope your walk is good. How was last earnings call for Nvidia? When was their last result? So earnings call for Nvidia came out last time. Again, we got about 2 minutes. All right, guys. Market pull it back. Here's the closing bell here in about 40 seconds. We're going to pause this so that we don't get the annoying timer, but we got about 40 seconds till that closing bell number. All right, guys. So again, there's the close. Snowflake is supposed to drop theirs at 405. So Snowflake's supposed to drop theirs at 405. So we'll try to report these as soon as they come out. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. All right, so again, watching for Snowflake numbers coming out. Nothing dropped on there yet. Again, you'll see big volatility when these earnings come out. Again, Nvidia at 305. Snowflake's supposed to drop theirs in about 3 minutes here. So watch Snow on the very right. We don't really have any other big earnings coming out today. And so again, we'll see what happens. But yeah. Should be an easy beat. I should be guiding really well too. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Again, I've heard both. I've heard basically Nvidia is going to fail. I've also heard Nvidia is going to do great. Again, I don't know. We'll see. Again, there's snow on the right. Number should come out in about 2 minutes. The earnings come out at 4:20 actually scheduled. So the earnings are scheduled for 4:20. Snow earnings are supposed to drop at about a minute and a half. Also, do me a favor, y'all. Bump the like button if you can. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Snow come up. Yeah, watch it snow. Snow hasn't really moved yet. We're still just kind of sitting back waiting for this data to come out. Yeah, it's all good, Jason. It happens, brother. It happens, man. You know, it's kind of how it goes. I thought you said Nvidia had to hit that tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, Maker. I thought you said it had to hit that tomorrow. Oh, well, I guess before Friday is tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, good luck, man. All right, snow just dumped down, guys. Look at snow. Snow numbers are out, and they are not good. Snowflake is down drastically right now, drastically. Snowflake posted a first quarter loss per share of 70 cents. Loss per share. They expected 5-cent profit. They did a loss of 70 cents per share. First quarter revenue of 623, and so their revenue was higher than expected, but they had a loss per share of 70 cents a share versus 5-cent profit estimates here. All right, so Snowflake still bumping down again. First quarter loss per share of 70 cents on Snow. First quarter revenue of 623, so better than expected sales. Worse, much worse than expected EPS, like way worse. And if you don't know, EPS is profitability, so way worse profitability on Snow than expected. I think the weakness here is dragging Nvidia down. Nvidia numbers are not out yet, but I think the Snowflake weakness is tanking the rest of tech right now. So Nvidia down to 303s. If you look at the Q is dropping a little bit from this, but yeah, Snowflake, bad numbers here for sure. Not good numbers. Definitely bad numbers. Yeah, rest in peace to Tina Turner. Again, man, big drops for Snowflake. Nvidia is actually dropping down a lot too. I guess people understand the correlation between Snowflake and Nvidia here. Maybe that's why Nvidia is dropping so much. But again, we don't really have. Okay, there goes Snowflake. So here's Snowflake, 70-cent loss per share. Expected 5-cent profit. Expected 610 million. They showed 623. So they did much better than expected for sales. But man, what a big miss on EPS. Here's the data right here. There's Snowflake right there. Yeah, fiscal year product review revenue view was 2.6 billion. They expected 2.7 billion, so they even missed on their guidance numbers as well. So Republican negotiators just left the White House after around a 4-hour meeting, according to CNN. All right, so House Speaker McCarthy says things are going a little bit better on debt ceiling talks, according to Fox Business News. Nvidia, though, dumping down here, guys. I don't think the numbers are out for Nvidia either. I think it's just following Snowflake. Nvidia down to the VWAP. It's just up a lot. The PE ratio is the only question mark regarding Nvidia, I think, here. Nvidia is dropping some. It's still above, Nvidia is right around where it was at the opening bell today. So we'll see what happens. Again, earnings, this is baby move compared to when the earnings actually drop here. So, y'all be careful. Again, Disney at $89. Disney's moving back up. Nvidia back over 303s here. Snow at 155s. Snowflake missing on guidance. All right, again, Nvidia up to 304s. Snowflake breaking back down again. Splunk just dropped their numbers. They came in 18-cent EPS on 13-cent loss per share expectations. So there's Splunk, SPLK. Give me my 1 million, please. Hey, we'll see, dude. We'll see what happens there, brother. I mean, again, I don't think you're gonna make your million, bro. How much are you betting to make that million? Is a question. Genuine question. How much are you betting to make that million? That's my question. Again, Snowflake still testing the lows. Nvidia at 303s right now, 303s. Disney started to pump up a little bit. We're still waiting for Nvidia here, guys. Nvidia is supposed to drop theirs in about 17 minutes. 17 minutes. Be ready. Yeah, I'm ready. We'll see if we get something good. You get Disney up to $89 a share. $89. So yeah, Snowflake came in at 15-cent profit per share. Okay, so Snowflake guidance numbers. No. Okay, now they're doing a correction here. Adjusted EPS came in at 15-cent profit for Snowflake. Expected 5 cents. Wait, what? Apparently they're correcting Snowflake. Now it's saying it did a 15-cent versus 5-cent estimates. I might buy Snowflake here just because it looks like either this was an error. I'm gonna take like 10 shares of this right now at least. All right, so we're in more 10 shares because right now I'm seeing a corrected. Adjusted EPS came in at 15 cents versus 5 cent expected. Revenue of 623 versus 610. The only thing down was their guidance numbers. So we'll buy a little bit of it. It's just down so much, I think we kind of have to. But I'm not sure if this is a correction or maybe this is the difference between adjusted EPS and regular. Nvidia is still consolidating. We got 15 minutes for Nvidia numbers to come out, guys. 15 minutes. Again, starting to move up for Nvidia. Snowflake trades going pretty well. I mean, might as well lock in a little bit here if I can. Okay, we just took half off. Little baby trade, but hey, we'll take it. Started to do better. Q started to move back up. Nvidia's back up to 304s here. We still got about 4 minutes here, guys. 4 minutes until the numbers actually drop. Q starting to pump up. Snowflake still testing the top. Bank stocks. Yeah. Yeah, 14 minutes until 4:20. Elon would love this scheduling time. We'll see if it's actually correct, though. $60 is good. Snow's still moving up. Again, Nvidia at 304s. Disney bouncing back up a little bit. This is Snowflake chart. Nvidia's on the left. Snowflake's on the right. So this isn't Nvidia's chart. This is Snowflake. Snowflake drops their numbers in 13 minutes. Let's watch them move. All right, so we just made a little bit of Snowflake. We caught that bounce. It's kind of one of my fortes, if you will. That's what we make the most money on in some of these trades, but probably could have held it longer realistically too here. Will you buy the dip in Nvidia if it dumps? I don't know. Path earnings. So House Speaker McCarthy says he's always thought that they could get a deal in a day and there should not be any fear in markets. So basically he's optimistic here. Let's see how that drags the market up even more. Path posted 11-cent profit, beat the 2-cent estimate. Sales of 289.5 mil, beat the 271 estimates. So better than expected sales and revenue or EPS and revenue. Nvidia pumping up a little bit more. I think there's more optimism regarding the debt ceiling talks now as well. Again, snow's starting to move up. It's at 158. I knew I could probably hold it a little bit more, but everything in tech's starting to move back up some as well. We're still waiting on the Nvidia numbers that are supposed to go live in about a minute and a half. Hey, I need y'all to do me a favor. Y'all remind me before the Nvidia earnings call starts to switch out my headphones, because I've been using these AirPods for like 4 hours now, and I know they're probably about to die, and I don't want to get stuck. I think I'm in love with Nightbot. Hey, cool, man. Nightbot loves you too, bro. All right, guys, here's the Nvidia numbers here. It's 15 seconds. 15 seconds. You know what Nightbot did that's really nice? It banned the trolls that were coming to my stream over and over again, pumping one specific person. Very weird, you know. All right, so here goes Nvidia numbers. There's 420. Last time Nvidia was late here too. Numbers still aren't out yet. You'll see Nvidia move when earnings come out. So you'll see Nvidia move. All right, there goes Nvidia numbers. Nvidia posted 109 EPS, guys. 109 EPS. Sorry to whoever wanted to make the million. 109 EPS versus 91-cent estimates for Nvidia. 2.04 billion in first quarter net revenue. First quarter adjusted EPS was 109 for Nvidia. 109. First quarter EPS was 82 cents. Adjusted EPS was 109. And Nvidia is ramping up at 325s right now. First quarter revenue was 7.19 billion. So they beat on everything. Big beat too. So again, Nvidia adjusted EPS 109 on revenue of 7.19 billion. Crazy big run up to 330s. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the people acting like Nvidia was going to crash, nobody knows. Like taking huge positions ahead of time is a gamble. Nobody knows. So adjusted EPS of 107 or 109 per share on a revenue of 7.19 billion. Oops. Let me fix this. But yeah, sorry to the guy that wanted to make $1 million. I know it didn't happen for you, my guy. But all right, we'll put this number up on the screen. But yeah. Nvidia up. Big pop. This should drag everything else up too. Disney, everything else, I think. Again, SPY just tore up here too. Yeah, Nvidia flying up 240s right now, man. Such a high move, bro. It's showing you that PE doesn't mean too much here in all this stuff because this is such a big move, man. Nvidia has been on a tear, guys. This is why you never play earnings. Exactly right, Underground. This is why you don't gamble on earnings here, man. You don't gamble on earnings. Nobody knows, no matter how many people are going to try to talk you into a specific reaction, nobody freaking knows here. Nobody knows. Nobody knows if they're going to come in good. Nobody knows if they're going to be up, down, or sideways. Nobody knows how the market's going to respond to this. They could have great earnings, great EPS, great sales, great guidance, and they could drop 15%. And I've seen it happen too. And so nobody knows what's going to happen. Yeah, short's getting destroyed right now. Hey. Who the heck is buying Nvidia at 1,000 PE? It sounds like who's buying them is consumers. You know, sounds like consumers are buying them up, sir. But yeah, it's a big move. And again, if you haven't already, guys, check out TopStep. TopStep funded account program for futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill. Best way to test your skill in trading, honestly. Legitimately best way to test your skill. You can build up a cushion, take risks with that cushion. And again, the single easiest way to day trade the futures market with no PDT rule, you can day trade short. If you don't know how to trade stocks, the futures market is, if you can't trade stocks and you don't have enough equity, the futures market's probably where you want to go. There's no PDT in futures. You can day trade gold, silver. You can day trade the S&P 500. You can day trade the NASDAQ. You can kind of see the E-mini right here. It's moving with Nvidia right now, guaranteed. So like, look, you can day trade movements like this in futures with no PDT rule. You can day trade short, buy market, buy bid, sell the ass. TopStep is the most legit futures funded program in the world. They pay out millions. They fund thousands of traders a year. And again, it's just an easier way to test your skill. Most people are going to lose because most people lose in day trading, but it's a lot cheaper to lose on TopStep than it is to put up, 50K, 30K, 10K, 15K yourself, because futures can go against you really, really quick. And you can day trade stock. You can day trade S&P. You can day trade the NASDAQ. You can day trade currencies. You can day trade gold, silver in futures, no PDT restrictions. Check out the link. Great way to learn and build skill. Congrats, man. I hope y'all are getting rich off of Nvidia. Sorry to the guy that wanted to be a millionaire. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, brother. You got to be smart. There's the link if you want to check it out. They got a 30% off sale going on right now. He's a millionaire in spirit. But yeah, man, hey, Q was flying up. So tech is loving life right now. Again, if you look at Apple, green. Amazon, green. Q is really green on Nvidia's pump because the Q is really heavily weighted to Nvidia. Up to 334s, 335s. I love me some beer meat. Hey, y'all have fun with this. Yeah, Nvidia, man, just such a crazy move. Up to 350 right now. Hit 351 just now in pre-market here. We got the earnings call that starts. It goes live in a couple minutes here, team. Earnings call is at 5 p.m. Again, we're at 353s right now on Nvidia. 353s here. The market is flying up right now, man. Crazy. All right, guys, we're at 351 right now, 351. Again, guys, Nvidia, man, it's not even stopping. It's not even pulling back. Man, flying up. Q pull it back a little bit now. Everything's kind of dipping down some too. Hey, thank you, my guy Bernardo. My guy, hey, good to see you, bro. We're gonna stream the full earnings call later on today, guys. So be ready. What does this mean for tomorrow, bro? Tomorrow's gonna be crazy day too. Um, Up to 351s. High of the day is now 353s from Nvidia, man. That's crazy big. I think they already have gone up in sympathy, man. I think a lot of the tech stocks, like I think the market was pretty flat leading into Nvidia earnings, but if you look at the Q, it's up big, which means that like Amazon is gapping up, or at least was. It's now retracing back down, but Amazon was up from this. Microsoft is up definitely from this, like definitely strong from this here. Google up from this at least, you know. So I think tech stocks are already moving in sympathy. I think the earnings call will be interesting. But yeah, thank you, Bernardo. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, sir. Shout out to my guy there, Bernardo. And get Nvidia up to 354. Is this an all-time high for Nvidia? Let me see, man. No, it's not the all-time high. All-time highs are, oh no, it is the all-time high, bro. Wow. Nvidia just broke lifetime highs here, dude. That is crazy. Let me post about this on Twitter. That's big news, man. That's crazy. Nvidia, all-time high break. Wow. Crazy. Earnings call is gonna be hype, you know. But yeah, man, look at that. Crazy numbers right here for Nvidia. Man, Nvidia all-time high break up to 355. The previous lifetime high prior to this was years ago. This was in 2021 was the previous lifetime high at 346. So this is a huge high break, man. This thing's pumping up. It's at 356. So it broke the lifetime high by $10 a share. Crazy. I'm just glad I'm streaming it so I can be here, you know. $357 just tapped here for Nvidia. $357. And again, we are going to stream the full earnings call, guys. It goes live at 5 p.m. right, guys. So yeah, 357.50s. All right, guys. Nvidia just hit 360 once. Honestly, this is good for every tech stock. The market kind of needed this, man. Honestly, earnings have been coming along and saving the day lately. So earnings have been saving the day lately, man. Like again, every time we get a big earnings report, whether it's Apple, Amazon, Google, whatever it is, a lot of the time we get big drops leading up to it. So the last couple ones, we've had huge drops leading up to these earnings reports. The market has just gotten absolutely destroyed. And then the earnings come out and they come in wildly good, wildly good. Nvidia today is definitely, this. And Nvidia came up all the way to 364s. The previous lifetime high was 346. So they ripped up over lifetime highs by a huge margin here, by a ridiculously big margin. And so yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see what they keep doing here. Up to almost 370s now, 370s. Will it ever see 200 again? I don't know. I know it's good for tech. It's good for everything else too. Yeah, let's see how many times they say the word AI in their earnings call. And their earnings call starts in 23 minutes, guys. Also, again, if you want to day trade futures, the futures market, a lot of people don't understand. You can actually day trade the futures market with no PDT restrictions. Like when I first got started trading, I was trying to do a cash account with penny stocks, got absolutely destroyed. I was trying to do offshore brokerages that gave me leverage to trade penny stocks, got absolutely destroyed. I was trying to do cash accounts. Wait 2 days for the T2 rule and all that stuff. It is just not free to trade. It's not easy to trade that. The futures market, no PDT restrictions. So you can day trade as much as you want with a margin account, instant settlement, no PDT rule. That's why it's valuable. And the funded account program, Top Step's funded account program is the most legit. Other ones might have other rules or whatever, but Top Step has been around for 10 plus years. You're going to get your payouts if you request it by Top Step. And that's one of the real benefits of it. They're the most legit. What they do is they give you a demo. Right now it's 30% off. So you get it for like 120 something a month. If you can hit 50K, or if you can hit 3K on a 50K demo account while following their rules, then they fund you 50K with a 90% split. So after you're funded, if you make 20K, you keep 18 of that. And there's some other rules. They test your skill. It builds your skill for sure. And most people are going to fail because most traders lose. But it's much cheaper to lose a funded account program than it is to put up the money yourself. And I think that's objectively true, regardless of complaints. Again, if you want to check it out, there's the link. Great way to help support the channel. And Nvidia just ramped up and hit 370s right now, guys. 370s. Seriously, appreciate it. Yeah, all good, man. I appreciate the support. Why can't you see why can't you see Nvidia in trading view? Probably because of the data. You got to pay extra for data. Just use the word AI. I never understood why people are mad when stocks go up. I never understood why people are mad when stocks go up, man. Like, listen. I mean, I think AI, Jin. And so I think the reason this is up is because, number one, okay, PE ratio is ridiculously high. I'm not arguing that, right? Like, I'm not arguing that this is a reasonable price. Look at Google here. But this is AI hype right now. Guys, this is AI ramping up, right? Like, that's what's going on here. This AI is doing well. Yeah. Yeah, we're mad we didn't buy it at Lowe's. Yeah, that's really what it is, man. But like it's all good, guys. Like I said, you'll have another opportunity here. It's you don't have to hit it every time. Again, just remember, man, this is all good for the market. The market needs this, right now. It really does. The market dumped today on debt ceiling fears. All right, so pulling back to 360 from 370s, but it's just up so much. Google actually ramping up with us as well here, man. So this is a crazy big move, dude. Crazy big move. Yeah, the market needed this for sure. Market's just been down a ton. Bro, I posted this Nvidia's market cap. Yeah, I mean Nvidia, man, huge. It's definitely the leader in chips for sure. Intel is just incredibly weak for chip stocks too, man, which is really surprising. Yeah, we'll squeeze. Hey, we'll see, man. I'm excited. Again, I'm excited. Nvidia at 360s. Definitely gonna have a quarter rate hike now. Yeah, I mean, I think that varies, man. I think GDP tomorrow and PCE Friday will influence whether we have a rate hike decision or not, or whether we'll have a rate hike or not. I think this is definitely optimistic regarding markets, but the market's down a lot prior to this today. Remember here, so the worse inflation looks, the more likely they are to raise rates. If we look at the CME watch tool, and again, we just covered the Fed minutes report earlier today, we're at about 68% expecting a rate hike. So this has actually gone up a little bit, or we're at 68% expecting a pause. 32% are now expecting a rate hike. So this has gone up from the last time I looked at it about an hour ago. So again, this has gone up some relative to the last time I looked at it about an hour ago. But yeah, it's interesting here. We also have a dip on Nvidia. Google spot it up here. Here's the SPY right now. So the SPY is obviously loving this. Kind of retraced all the drops that we had today, plus some. PayPal's still kind of flat down there. Gold not really liking it. JP Morgan doing a little bit better. We'll watch to see it rise, but 360 strong support level. Still up to 365s again. Still bouncing back up here too, man. Wow. Again, still 365s. 365s are getting pretty close to 370s here with the range. It's not wild to think that we might break this level again. We got 15 minutes. Yeah, so I talked about the difference in the old Fast and Furious movies, man, where like the first Fast and Furious movie was like realistic to like street racing culture. You know, the rest freaking ridiculous. You know, fire coming out the exhaust, so they're shifting like 30 times. You know, everybody's got fire, blue fire coming out of the exhaust all of a sudden. You know, they're jumping cars on buildings, and the car's just good afterwards. It's just not even struggling. Um, all right, guys. Again, earnings calls at 13 minutes. 13 minutes. Nvidia's metal. Well, yeah. The computer's metal, you know. Why isn't Apple happy? Well, I don't know. Again, we're at 365s for Nvidia, 365s. JP Morgan's still trying here. Apple's had one of those years, one of those last 6-month periods where Apple's just up a huge amount too, man. So again, 13 minutes before Nvidia earnings come out. To be fair, though, I did once roll my LR in Discovery and it drove away just fine. I mean, listen, do your thing, man. But the change of directors is what it is. I can't remember who directed the first one. Yeah, honestly, Nvidia's just up so much right now, though. Q is flying up too, you know. What I'm really interested in, here's a 10-day chart. 12 minutes, guys, before the numbers come out too. We're already up to 108.1 thousand subscribers here, team. So, hey, we appreciate you guys. Again, hit the sub button. We cover all the big stuff in markets. Like, we cover all the major stuff in market activity. You know, we cover all the big stuff. And so we cover Fed rate hike decisions, CPI, PPI, jobless claims, retail sales, GDP, PCE, deflator data, all that stuff. And we're covering a lot of it tomorrow, too. Fed rate hike decision, Jerome Powell press conferences, you know, all that stuff, man. We usually cover it in one way or another. Yeah, again, PCE's Friday. Again, this is not the last little bit of market activity here, guys. So, again, we got a lot of stuff dropping in terms of, like, market activity here. In the next couple days here. So, today we had Nvidia. We also have... Bro, you know what's funny is that like every single live stream I ever do, right? Like every single live stream I ever do, like we're a live stream. People start the live stream and they're like late, right? And they go to the comment section. Yeah, bud. Here, no, wait, you don't have a what? Which toilet?
The one in your room.
Why are you in our room? Is your mom in there?
No, there was no toilet paper.
Is it flooding?
I don't know.
Go look. Don't walk on it though. Is it flooding?
It wasn't flooding when I checked it off.
Uh.
Like when I saw it last. Can you go and like do whatever you?
Here, hold on, bro. Sorry. Here, give me 10 minutes, dude. I can't do it right now, but
Okay, I'll just go upstairs.
okay. Is it flooding, bro? Tell me if it's flooding. That's never a good thing.
It's not.
Okay, good. We'll just leave it, bro. I'll get it, dude. All right. But yeah, every single Nvidia earnings call, or every single earnings call, we get people that don't understand YouTube. They come in the video and they start the stream over. And then they watch the stream like it's in real time. And then when the earnings come out, they comment on it. They say, hey, it's already out already, guys. It's already out. It's already. It's like, bro, we covered this literally within 20 seconds of it coming out. We dropped it here. Yeah, Nvidia flying up to 370s here. Well, if my house is flooding, it's a different story, Austin, you know, so. Yeah, bro, I got kids. I got a kids and a wife. I'm married. So, I mean, I'd rather him tell me the bathroom is flooding than not tell me the bathroom is flooding. You know what I mean? So, like, he could come in here, but, you know. All right, guys. Hey, we got 7 minutes here. 7 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and switch my headphones out because I've been using these AirPods all day. To the point where even my ears sound funny using these things, man. Yeah, Gilbert, you don't want to let what you could have, should have, would have done. You know what I mean? That's never the right move, bro. It really isn't, dude. Like, in the end, you could always look at anything and say, hey, I could have gotten more from it, you know? But, like, just be happy, bro. If you wrote it up to 340s, you're still doing solid, you know, even if you missed out on some. Like, just be happy you made some money. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Nvidia's flooding to the upside. Honestly, market's doing all right now, man. The market was really weak today. It's starting to finally bounce back some. We made a little bit on snow. We bought the dip. Yeah, I remember when Kramer cried. I felt bad for Kramer, bro. I really did. I really did feel bad for Kramer, man. You know, like my guy Kramer, bro, like he's obviously got corporate interests. And so like I can't even really get mad at him. Like I have sponsors, like I understand. But like he literally has something. I don't know if it's the law of attraction or what it is with Kramer, but my guy is just wrong about everything now, you know. And he's hearing about it too, man. You know. Kramer has just been notoriously trolled for the last year and a half. I kind of feel for him. I mean, he kind of asked for it, but like I still feel bad for him, you know. All right, so the annual meeting of stockholders for Nvidia is June 22nd. All right, so yeah, we got the earnings call on hold. We're waiting for it to start. It starts in about 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, here's my problem with Kramer. All right, like Kramer is obviously like a long-term investor. Like my guy's not sitting here taking short-term swing trades, in my opinion. But he's making calls on his thing so that acting like he's a short-term swing trader, and he's getting absolutely destroyed by it. And to where a point where everybody's basically saying, yo, do the opposite of Kramer here. You know what I mean? Because he's just so bad at short-term trading. And so that's my issue. It's like, bro, listen, if you're not a short-term trader, just don't act like you're a short-term trader, bro. Listen, I trade a lot in a lot of different ways, right? I'm not acting like I'm the greatest dividend investor. You know why? It's because I don't really dividend invest that much. But I'm not going to create a service around dividend investing and then sell it to people like I'm some dividend expert. That's Kramer's problem. That's the problem I have with Kramer, is that he's not a short-term trader. Obviously not a short-term trader. Yet he kind of acts like he is, and he gives out stock picks, and he makes all these call-outs on social media like he's a short-term trader. It's like, bro, just sit back, make your little 12% a year with long-term investing and be quiet, dude. That's all you need. Like, nobody would talk bad about you. You know what I mean? Hey, Thomas said, dude, thank you. You just helped me make the most money in a day I ever have in my life. I happened to tune in right on time and jumped all in, my man. Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate it, Thomas. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate the support, bro. Yeah, beginner traders grow like crazy. I mean, I think the only thing you could do with trolls is respond in humor. Like, bro, I get trolls all the time, dude. I've been getting trolls for days. For days. I got 2D 392s. What do you think about their price will be in the morning? You're trading out the money call options? I don't know, man. I appreciate the donation though, my friend. But 392. I don't know. I think it could happen. It might not. Just be careful, brother. Good luck. I hope you make money. I have no idea what they're going to be in the morning. I might have no idea what I'm talking about. Be wildly wrong about everything. Just good luck, dude. Again, I don't know what you're going to do with it. I'm not really a big options trader, brother. So like, I'm not a, I'd rather just say, hey, I don't know. I don't know what your numbers are going to be. Good luck. I hope you make money, brother. I really do. Thank you so much for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah. But no, I appreciate it. I mean, I think with the volatility of Nvidia, 390 is not outside the question. But I tend to be the opposite of a trader. I look at extension. So like, I'm not really a big short trader like this, but part of me is like, hey man, like maybe a put option might be profitable right now on Nvidia. Again, don't hate me, don't flame me. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna buy a put option here, right? But it's up so much short term that like that's the thinking that I have for these type of trades. I understand Nvidia is very strong. Like, don't get your pitchforks out yet, okay? But yeah, you just be careful. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Less than a minute for Nvidia earnings. Again, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Y'all hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate the support, guys. Let's keep the growth up. Again, tomorrow we have GDP Friday. We got PCE data Friday. We also have durable good orders tomorrow. We also have jobless claims numbers. So we got a big list of data coming out. Options aren't a scam. Anyways, here's the report coming out. I'm gonna mute the music, which y'all should be able to hear. And then we're gonna unpause this. Again, where do you guys, let me ask the chat. Where do you guys, chat's probably a little bit better. Where do you guys think Nvidia closes tomorrow? What do you guys think? 320. No, we're not going to put both the earnings and stuff up. Hey, I love you guys. Y'all be safe. Again, the earnings call's about to start. Stick around. Hit the subscribe button. We're going to cover it live fully here.
David, and I'll be your conference operator
check.
today.
Sound
At
check.
this time, I'd like to welcome everyone to Nvidia's first quarter earnings call.
Man, my
Today's
guy is
conference is
loud.
being recorded. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there'll be a question and answer session. If you'd like to ask a question during this time, simply press the star key followed by the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you'd like to withdraw your question, press star 1 once again. Thank you. Simona Jankowski, you may begin your conference.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to NVIDIA's conference call for the first quarter of fiscal 2024. With me today from NVIDIA are Jensen Huang, President and Chief Executive Officer, and Colette Kress, Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. I'd like to remind you that our call is being webcast live on NVIDIA's Investor Relations website. The webcast will be available for replay until the conference call to discuss our financial results for the second quarter of fiscal 2024. The content of today's call is NVIDIA's property. It can be reproduced or transcribed without our prior written consent. During this call, we may make forward-looking statements based on current expectations. These are subject to a number of significant risks and uncertainties, and our actual results may differ materially. For a discussion of factors that could affect our future financial results and business, please refer to the disclosure in today's earnings release, our most recent Forms 10-K and 10-Q, and the reports that we may file on Form 8-K with the Securities and Exchange Commission. All our statements are made as of today, May 24th, 2023, based on information currently available to us. Except as required by law, we assume no obligation to update any such statements. During this call, we will discuss non-GAAP financial measures. You can find a reconciliation of these non-GAAP financial measures to GAAP financial measures in our CFO commentary, which is posted on our website. And with that, let me turn the call over to Colette.
Thanks, Simona. Q1 revenue was $7.19 billion, up 19% sequentially and down 13% year-on-year. Strong sequential growth was driven by record data center revenue, with our gaming and professional visualization platforms emerging from channel inventory corrections. Starting with data center, record revenue of $4.28 billion was up 18% sequentially and up 14% year-on-year on strong growth of our accelerated computing platform worldwide. Generative AI is driving exponential growth in compute requirements and a fast transition to Nvidia accelerated computing, which is the most versatile, most energy efficient, and the lowest TCO approach to train and deploy AI. Generative AI drove significant upside in demand for our products, creating opportunities and broad-based global growth across our markets. Let me give you some color across our 3 major customer categories: cloud service providers, or CSPs, consumer internet companies, and enterprises. First, CSPs around the world are racing to deploy our flagship Hopper and Ampere architecture GPUs to meet the surge in interest from both enterprise and consumer AI applications for training and inference. Multiple CSPs announced the availability of H100 on their platforms, including private previews at Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, upcoming offerings at AWS, and general availability at emerging GPU specialized cloud providers like CoreWeave and Lambda. In addition to enterprise AI adoption, these CSPs are serving strong demand for H100 from generative AI pioneers. Second, consumer internet companies are also at the forefront of adopting generative AI and deep learning-based recommendation systems, driving strong growth. For example, Meta has now deployed its H100-powered Grand Teton AI supercomputer for its AI production and research teams. Third, Enterprise demand for AI and accelerated computing is strong. We are seeing momentum in verticals such as automotive, financial services, healthcare, and telecom, where AI and accelerated computing are quickly becoming integral to customers' innovation roadmaps and competitive positioning. For example, Bloomberg announced it has a 50 billion parameter model, Bloomberg GPT, to help with financial natural language processing tasks, such as sentiment analysis, named entity recognition, news classification, and question answering. Auto insurance company CCC Intelligent Solutions is using AI for estimating repairs. And AT&T is working with us on AI to improve fleet dispatches so their field technicians can better serve customers. Among other enterprise customers using Nvidia AI are Deloitte for logistics and customer service, and Amgen for drug discovery and protein engineering. This quarter, we started shipping DGX H100, our Hopper generation AI system, which customers can deploy on-prem. And with the launch of DGX Cloud through our partnership with Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, we deliver the promise of NVIDIA DGX to customers from the cloud. Whether the customers deploy DGX on-prem or via DGX Cloud, they get access to NVIDIA AI software, including NVIDIA Base Command, end-to-end AI frameworks, and pre-trained models. We provide them with a blueprint for building and operating AI, spanning our expertise across systems, algorithms, data processing, and training methods. We also announced NVIDIA AI Foundations, which are model foundry services available on DGX Cloud that enable businesses to build, refine, and operate custom large language models and generative AI models trained with their own proprietary data, created for unique domain-specific tasks. They include NVIDIA NeMo for large language models, NVIDIA Picasso for images, video, and 3D, and NVIDIA BioNeMo for life sciences. Each service has 6 elements: pre-trained models, frameworks for data processing and curation, proprietary knowledge-based vector databases, systems for fine-tuning, aligning, and guardrailing, optimized inference engines, and support from NVIDIA experts to help enterprises fine-tune models for their custom use cases. ServiceNow, a leading enterprise services platform, is an early adopter of DGX Cloud and NeMo. They're developing custom large language models trained on data specifically for the ServiceNow platform. Our collaboration will let ServiceNow create new enterprise-grade generative AI offerings for the thousands of enterprises worldwide running on the ServiceNow platform, including for IT departments, customer service teams, employees, and developers. Generative AI is also driving a step function increase in inference workloads. Because of their size and complexities, these workloads require acceleration. The latest MLPerf industry benchmark, released in April, showed NVIDIA's inference platforms deliver performance that is orders of magnitude ahead of the industry, with unmatched versatility across diverse workloads. To help customers deploy generative AI applications at scale, at GTC, we announced 4 major new inference platforms that leverage the NVIDIA AI software stack. These include L4 Tensor Core GPU for AI video, L40 for Omniverse and graphics rendering, H100 NVL for large language models, and the Grace Hopper Superchip for LLMs, and also recommendation systems and vector databases. Google Cloud is the first CSP to adopt our L4 inference platform with the launch of its G2 virtual machines for generative AI inference and other workloads, such as Google Cloud Dataproc, Google AlphaFold, and Google Cloud's Immersive Stream, which render 3D and AR experiences. In addition, Google is integrating our Triton inference server with Google Kubernetes Engine and its cloud-based Vertex AI platform. In networking, we saw strong demand at both CSPs and enterprise customers for generative AI and accelerated computing, which require high-performance networking, like Nvidia's Mellanox networking platforms. Demand relating to general-purpose CPU infrastructure remains soft. As generative AI applications grow in size and complexity, high-performance networks become essential for delivering accelerated computing at data center scale to meet the enormous demands of both training and inferencing. Our 400 gig Quantum 2 InfiniBand platform is the gold standard for AI dedicated infrastructure, with broad adoption across major cloud and consumer internet platforms, such as Microsoft Azure. With the combination of in-network computing technology and the industry's only end-to-end data center scale optimized software stack, customers routinely enjoy a 20% increase in throughput for their sizable infrastructure investment. For multi-tenant cloud transitioning to support generative AI, our high-speed Ethernet platform with BlueField-3 DPUs and Spectrum-4 Ethernet switching offers the highest available Ethernet network performance. BlueField-3 is in production and has been adopted by multiple hyperscale and CSP customers, including Microsoft Azure, Oracle Cloud, CoreWeave, Baidu, and others. We look forward to sharing more about our 400 gig Spectrum-4 accelerated AI networking platform next week at the Computex conference in Taiwan. Lastly, our Grace data center CPU is sampling with customers. At this week's International Supercomputing Conference in Germany, the University of Bristol announced a new supercomputer based on the Nvidia Grace CPU superchip, which is 6x more energy efficient than the previous supercomputer. This adds to the growing momentum for Grace with both CPU-only and CPU-GPU opportunities across AI and cloud and supercomputing applications. The coming wave of BlueField-3, Grace, and Grace Hopper superchips will enable a new generation of super energy efficient accelerated data centers. Now, let's move to gaming. Gaming revenue of $2.24 billion was up 22% sequentially and down 38% year on year. Strong sequential growth was driven by sales of the 40 series GeForce RTX GPUs for both notebooks and desktops. Overall, end demand was solid and consistent with seasonality, demonstrating resilience against a challenging consumer spending backdrop. The GeForce RTX 40 series GPU laptops are off to a great start, featuring 4 Nvidia inventions: RTX path tracing, DLSS 3 AI rendering, Reflex ultra-low latency rendering, and Max-Q energy-efficient technologies. They deliver tremendous gains in industrial design, performance, and battery life for gamers and creators. And like our desktop offerings, 40 series laptops support the NVIDIA Studio platform of software technologies, including acceleration for creative, data science, and AI workflows, and Omniverse, giving content creators unmatched tools and capabilities. In desktop, we ramped the RTX 4070, which joined the previously launched RTX 4090, 4080, and the 4070 Ti GPUs. The RTX 4070 is nearly 3x faster than the RTX 2070 and offers our large installed base a spectacular upgrade. Last week, we launched the 60 family, RTX 4060 and 4060 Ti, bringing our newest architecture to the world's core gamers, starting at just $299. These GPUs, for the first time, provide 2x the performance of the latest gaming console at mainstream price points. The 4060 Ti is available starting today, while the 4060 will be available in July. Generative AI will be transformative to gaming and content creation, from development to runtime. At the Microsoft Build Developer Conference earlier this week, we showcased how Windows PCs and workstations with Nvidia RTX GPUs will be AI-powered at their core. Nvidia and Microsoft have collaborated on end-to-end software engineering, spanning from the Windows operating system to the Nvidia graphics drivers and NeMo LLM framework to help make Windows on Nvidia RTX Tensor Core GPUs a supercharged platform for generative AI. Last quarter, we announced a partnership with Microsoft to bring Xbox PC games to GeForce Now. The first game from this partnership, Gears 5, is now available, with more set to be released in the coming months. There are now over 1,600 games on GeForce Now, the richest content available on any cloud gaming service. Moving to Pro Visualization. Revenue of $295 million was up 31% sequentially and down 53% year-on-year. Sequential growth was driven by stronger workstation demand across both mobile and desktop form factors, with strength in key verticals such as public sector, healthcare, and automotive. We believe the channel inventory correction is behind us. The ramp of our Ada Lovelace GPU architecture in workstations kicks off a major product cycle. At GTC, we announced 6 new RTX GPUs for laptops and desktop workstations, with further rollouts planned in the coming quarters. Generative AI is a major new workload for NVIDIA-powered workstations. Our collaboration with Microsoft transforms Windows into the ideal platform for creators and designers harnessing generative AI to elevate their creativity and productivity. At GTC, we announced NVIDIA Omniverse Cloud, an NVIDIA fully managed service running in Microsoft Azure that includes the full suite of Omniverse applications and NVIDIA OVX infrastructure. Using this full-stack cloud environment, customers can design, develop, deploy, and manage industrial metaverse applications. NVIDIA Omniverse Cloud will be available starting in the second half of this year. Microsoft and NVIDIA will also connect Office 365 applications with Omniverse. Omniverse Cloud is being used by companies to digitalize their workflows from design and engineering to smart factories and 3D content generation for marketing. The automotive industry has been a leading early adopter of Omniverse, including companies such as BMW Group, Geely Lotus, General Motors, and Jaguar Land Rover. Moving to automotive. Revenue was $296 million, up 1% sequentially and up 114% from a year ago. Our strong year-on-year growth was driven by the ramp of the NVIDIA Drive Orin across a number of new energy vehicles. As we announced in March, our automotive design win pipeline over the next 6 years now stands at $14 billion, up from $11 billion a year ago, giving us visibility into continued growth over the coming years. Sequentially, growth moderated as some NEV customers in China are adjusting their production schedules to reflect slower than expected demand growth. We expect this dynamic to linger for the rest of the calendar year. During the quarter, we expanded our partnership with BYD, the world's leading manufacturer of NEVs. Our new design win will extend BYD's use of the Drive Orin to its next generation high-volume Dynasty and Ocean series of vehicles, set to start production in calendar 2024. Moving to the rest of the P&L, GAAP gross margins was 64.6%, and non-GAAP gross margins were 66.8%. Gross margins have now largely recovered to prior peak levels as we have absorbed higher costs and offset them by innovating and delivering higher valued products as well as products incorporating more and more software. Sequentially, GAAP operating expenses were down 3% and non-GAAP operating expenses were down 1%. We have held OpEx at roughly the same level over the past 4 quarters, while working through the inventory corrections in gaming and professional visualization. We now expect to increase investments in the business while also delivering operating leverage. We returned $99 million to shareholders in the form of cash dividends. At the end of the Q1, we have approximately $7 billion remaining under our share repurchase authorization through December 2023. Let me turn to the outlook for the second quarter of fiscal 24. Total revenue is expected to be $11 billion, plus or minus 2%. We expect this sequential growth to largely be driven by data center, reflecting a steep increase in demand related to generative AI and large language models. This demand has extended our data center visibility out a few quarters, and we have procured substantially higher supply for the second half of the year. GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins are expected to be 68.6% and 70% respectively, plus or minus 50 basis points. GAAP and non-GAAP operating expenses are expected to be approximately $2.71 billion and $1.9 billion, respectively. GAAP and non-GAAP other income and expenses are expected to be an income of approximately $90 million, excluding gains and losses from non-affiliated investments. GAAP and non-GAAP tax rates are expected to be 14%, plus or minus 1%, excluding any discrete items. Capital expenditures are expected to be approximately $300 to $350 million. Further financial details are included in the CFO commentary and other information available on our IR website. In closing, let me highlight some of the upcoming events. Jensen will give the Computex keynote address in person in Taipei this coming Monday, May 29th local time, which will be Sunday evening in the US. In addition, we will be attending the BofA Global Technology Conference in San Francisco on June 6th, and Rosenblatt Virtual Technology Summit on the Age of AI on June 7th, and the New Street Future of Transportation Virtual Conference on June 12th. Our earnings call to discuss the results of our second quarter of fiscal 24 is scheduled for Wednesday, August 23rd. Well, that covers our opening remarks. We're now going to open the call for questions. Operator, would you please pull for questions?
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to remind everyone, in order to ask a question, press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. We ask that you please limit yourself to one question. We'll pause for just a moment to compile the Q&A roster. We'll take our first question from Toshiya Hari with Goldman Sachs. Your line's open.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the question, and congrats on the strong results and incredible outlook. Just one question on data center. Colette, you mentioned the vast majority of the sequential increase in revenue this quarter will come from data center. I was curious what the construct is there, if you can speak to what the key drivers are from April to July, and perhaps more importantly, you talked about visibility into the second half of the year. I'm guessing it's more of a supply problem at this point. What kind of sequential growth beyond the July quarter can your supply chain support at this point? Thank you.
Okay, so a lot of different questions there. So let me see if I can start, and I'm sure Jensen will have some following up comments. So when we talk about our sequential growth that we're expected between Q1 and Q2, our generative AI, large language models are driving this surge in demand, and it's a broad-based across both our consumer internet companies, our CSPs, our enterprises, and our AI startups. It is also interest in both of our architectures, both of our Hopper latest architecture as well as our Ampere architecture. This is not surprising, as we generally often sell both of our architectures at the same time. This is also a key area where deep recommendators are driving growth, and we also expect to see growth both in our computing as well as in our networking business. So those are some of the key things that we have baked in when we think about the guidance that we have provided to Q2. We also surfaced in our opening remarks that we are working on both supply today for this quarter, but we have also procured a substantial amount of supply for the second half. We have some significant supply chain flow to serve our significant customer demand that we see. And this is demand that we see across a wide range of different customers. They are building platforms for some of the largest enterprises, but also setting things up at the CSPs and the large consumer internet companies. So we have visibility right now for our data center demand that has probably extended out a few quarters. And this led us to working on quickly procuring that substantial supply for the second half. I'm going to pause there and see if Jensen wants to add a little bit more.
I thought that was great, Colette. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to CJ Muse with Evercore ISI. Your line's open.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for taking the question. I guess with data center, essentially doubling, quarter on quarter, two natural kind of questions that relate to one another come to mind. Number one, where are we in terms of driving acceleration into servers to support, AI? And as part of that, as you deal with longer cycle times with TSMC and your other partners, how are you thinking about managing, the commitments there with, where you want to manage your lead times, in the coming years, to best kind of best match that supply and demand? Thanks so much.
Yeah, CJ, thanks for the question. I'll still start backwards. Remember, we were in full production of both Ampere and Hopper when the ChatGPT moment came, and it helped everybody crystallize how to transition from the technology of large language models to a product and service based on a chatbot. The integration of guardrails and alignment systems with reinforcement learning, human feedback, knowledge vector databases for proprietary knowledge, connection to search, all of that came together in a really wonderful way. And it's the reason why I call it the iPhone moment. All the technology came together and helped everybody realize what an amazing product it can be and what capabilities it can have. And so we were already in full production. Nvidia's supply chain flow and our supply chain is very significant, as you know. And we build supercomputers in volume, and these are giant systems, and we build them in volume. It includes, of course, the GPUs, but on our GPUs, the system boards have 35,000 other components, and the networking and the fiber optics and the incredible transceivers and the NICs, the smart NICs, the switches, all of that has to come together in order for us to stand up a data center. And so we were already in full production, and when the moment came, we had to really significantly increase our procurement substantially for the second half, as Colette said. Now let me talk about the bigger picture and why the entire world's data centers are moving towards accelerated computing. It's been known for some time, and you've heard me talk about it, that accelerated computing is a full stack problem, but it's full stack challenge. But if you could successfully do it in a large number of application domains, it's taken us 15 years, sufficiently that almost the entire data center's major applications could be accelerated. You could reduce the amount of energy consumed and the amount of cost for a data center substantially by an order of magnitude. It costs a lot of money to do it because you have to do all the software and everything, and you have to build all the systems and so on and so forth. But we've been at it for 15 years, and what happened is that when generative AI came along, it triggered a killer app for this computing platform that's been in preparation for some time. And so now we see ourselves in two simultaneous transitions. The world's $1 trillion data center is nearly populated entirely by CPUs today. And and I, $1 trillion, $250 billion a year. It's growing, of course, but over the last 4 years, call it $1 trillion worth of infrastructure installed, and it's all completely based on CPUs and dumb NICs. It's basically unaccelerated. In the future, it's fairly clear now with generative AI becoming the primary workload of most of the world's data centers generating information. It is very clear now that, and the fact that accelerated computing is so energy efficient, that the budget of a data center will shift very dramatically towards accelerated computing. And you're seeing that now. We're going through that moment right now as we speak. While the world's data center CapEx budget is limited, at the same time, we're seeing incredible orders to retool the world's data centers. And so I think you're seeing the beginning of, call it a 10-year transition to basically recycle or reclaim the world's data centers and build it out as accelerated computing. You'll have a pretty dramatic shift in the spend of a data center from traditional computing and to accelerated computing with smart NICs, smart switches, of course, GPUs, and the workload is going to be predominantly generative AI.
Okay, we'll move to our next question. Vivek Arya with BofA Securities. Your line's open.
Thanks for the question. Could I just wanted to clarify, does visibility mean data center sales can continue to grow sequentially in Q3 and Q4, or do they sustain at Q2 levels? I just wanted to clarify that. And then, Jensen, my question is that, given this very strong demand environment, what does it do to the competitive landscape? Does it invite more competition in terms of custom ASICs? Does it invite more competition in terms of other GPU solutions or other kinds of solutions? How do you see the competitive landscape change over the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, Vivek, thanks for the question. Let me see if I can add a little bit more color. We believe that the supply that we will have for the second half of the year will be substantially larger than H1. So we are expecting not only the demand that we just saw in this last quarter, the demand that we have in Q2 for our forecast, but also planning on seeing something in the second half of the year. We just have to be careful here that we're not here to guide the second half. But yes, we do plan a substantial increase in the second half compared to the first half.
Regarding competition, we have competition from every direction. Startups, really, really well-funded and innovative startups, countless of them all over the world. We have competitions from existing semiconductor companies. We have competition from CSPs with internal projects, and many of you know about most of these. And so we're mindful of competition all the time, and we get competition all the time. NVIDIA's value proposition at the core is we are the lowest cost solution. We're the lowest TCO solution. And the reason for that is because accelerated computing is two things that I talk about often, which is it's a full stack problem. It's a full stack challenge. You have to engineer all of the software and all the libraries and all the algorithms, integrate them into and optimize the frameworks and optimize it for the architecture of not just one chip, but the architecture of an entire data center, all the way into the frameworks, all the way into the models. And the amount of engineering and distributed computing, fundamental computer science work is really quite extraordinary. It is the hardest computing as we know. And so number one, it's a full stack challenge, and you have to optimize it across the whole thing and across just a mind-blowing number of stacks. We have 400 acceleration libraries. As you know, the amount of libraries and frameworks that we accelerate is pretty mind-blowing. The second part is that generative AI is a large-scale problem, and it's a data center scale problem. It's another way of thinking that the computer is the data center, or the data center is the computer. It's not the chip, it's the data center. And it's never happened like this before. And in this particular environment, your networking operating system, your distributed computing engines, your understanding of the architecture of the networking gear, the switches, and the computing systems, the computing fabric, that entire system is your computer, and that's what you're trying to operate. And so in order to get the best performance, you have to understand full stack and understand data center scale, and that's what accelerated computing is. The second thing is that utilization, which talks about the amount of the types of applications that you can accelerate, and the versatility of your architecture keeps the utilization high. If you can do one thing and doing one thing only incredibly fast, then your data center is largely underutilized, and it's hard to scale that out. NVIDIA's universal GPU and the fact that we accelerate so many stacks makes our utilization incredibly high. And so number one is throughput, and that's software. That's a software-intensive problem. It's a data center architecture problem. The second is utilization, versatility problem, and the third is just data center expertise. You know, we've built 5 data centers of our own, and we've helped companies all over the world build data centers. And we integrate our architecture into all the world's clouds. From the moment of delivery of the product to standing up and the deployment, the time to operations of a data center is measured not, if you're not good at it and you're not proficient at it, it could take months. Standing up a supercomputer, let's see, some of the largest supercomputers in the world were installed about 1.5 years ago, and now they're coming online. And so it's not unheard of to see a delivery to operations of about a year. Our delivery to operations measured in weeks, and we've taken data centers and supercomputers and we've turned it into products. And the expertise of the team in doing that is incredible. And so our value proposition is, in the final analysis, all of this technology translates into infrastructure, the highest throughput and the lowest possible cost. And so I think our market is, of course, very, very competitive, very large, but the challenge is really, really great.
Okay, next we go to Aaron Rakers with Wells Fargo. Your line's open.
Yeah, thank you for taking the question, and congrats on the quarter. As we kind of think about unpacking the various different growth drivers of the data center business going forward, I'm curious, Colette, of just how we should think about the monetization effect of software, considering that the expansion of your cloud service agreements continues to grow. I'm curious of where do you think we're at in terms of that approach, in terms of the AI enterprise software suite and other drivers of software-only revenue going forward?
Thanks for the question. Software is really important to our accelerated platforms. Not only do we have a substantial amount of software that we are including in our newest architecture, and essentially all products that we have, we are now with many different models to help customers start their work in generative AI and accelerated computing. So anything that we have here from DGX Cloud on providing those services, helping them build models, or as we've discussed, the importance of NVIDIA AI Enterprise, essentially that operating system for AI. So all things should continue to grow as we go forward, both the architecture and the infrastructure, as well as the both availability of the software and our ability to monetize that with it as well. I'll turn it over to Jensen, see if he wants to add.
Yeah, we can see in real time the growth of generative AI and CSPs, both for training the models, refining the models, as well as deploying the models. As Colette said earlier, inference is now a major driver of accelerated computing because generative AI is used capably in so many applications already. There are two segments that requires a new stack of software, and the two segments are enterprise and industrials. Enterprise requires a new stack of software because many enterprises need to have all the capabilities that we've talked about, whether it's large language models, the ability to adapt them for your proprietary use case and your proprietary data, and align it to your own principles and your own operating domains. You want to have the ability to be able to do that in a high performance computing sandbox, and we call that DGX Cloud, and to create that model. Then you want to deploy your chatbot or your AI in any cloud, because you have services and you have agreements with multiple cloud vendors, and depending on the applications, you might deploy it on various clouds. For the enterprise, we have Nvidia AI Foundation for helping you create custom models, and we have Nvidia AI Enterprise. Nvidia AI Enterprise is the only accelerated stack, GPU accelerated stack in the world that is enterprise safe and enterprise supported. There are constant patching that you have to do. There are 4,000 different packages that build up Nvidia AI Enterprise, and represents the operating engine, end-to-end operating engine of the entire AI workflow. It's the only one of its kind, from data ingestion, data processing. Obviously, in order to train an AI model, you have a lot of data you have to process and package up and curate and align, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff that you have to do to the data to prepare it for training. That amount of data could consume some 40, 50, 60% of your computing time. And so data processing is a very big deal. And then the second aspect of it is training the model, refining the model, and the third is deploying the model for inferencing. NVIDIA AI Enterprise supports and patches and security patches continuously all of those 4,000 packages of software. And for an enterprise that wants to deploy their engines, just like they want to deploy Red Hat Linux, this is incredibly complicated software. In order to deploy that in every cloud, and as well as on-prem, it has to be secure, it has to be supported. And so NVIDIA AI Enterprise is the second part. The third is Omniverse. Just as people are starting to realize that you need to align an AI to ethics, the same for robotics, you need to align the AI for physics. And aligning an AI for ethics includes a technology called reinforcement learning human feedback. In the case of industrial applications and robotics, it's reinforcement learning omniverse feedback. And omniverse is a vital engine for software defined in robotic applications and industries. And so omniverse also needs to be a cloud service platform. And so our software stack, the three software stacks, AI Foundation, AI Enterprise, and Omniverse, runs in all of the world's clouds that we have partnerships, DGX Cloud partnerships with. Azure, we have partnerships on both AI as well as Omniverse. With GCP and Oracle, we have great partnerships in DGX Cloud for AI, and AI Enterprise is integrated into all three of them. And so I think in order for us to extend the reach of AI beyond the cloud and into the world's enterprise and into the world's industries, you need new software stacks in order to make that happen. And by putting it in the cloud, integrated into the world's CSP clouds, it's a great way for us to partner with the sales and the marketing team and the leadership team of all the cloud vendors.
Next, we'll go to Timothy Arcuri with UBS. Your line's open.
Thanks a lot. I had a question and then I had a clarification as well. So the question first is, Jensen, on the InfiniBand versus Ethernet argument, Can you sort of speak to that debate and maybe how you see it playing out? I know you need the low latency of InfiniBand for AI, but can you sort of talk about the attach rate of your InfiniBand solutions to what you're shipping on the core compute side, and maybe whether that's similarly crowding out Ethernet like you are with on the compute side? And then the clarification, Colette, is that there wasn't a share buyback despite you still having about $7 billion on the share repo authorization. Was that just timing? Thanks.
Colette, how about you go first? Take the question first.
Sure. That is correct. We have $7 billion available in our current authorization for repurchases. We did not repurchase anything in this last quarter, but we do repurchase opportunistically, and we'll consider that as we go forward as well. Thank you.
InfiniBand and Ethernet are target different applications in a data center. They both have their place. InfiniBand had a record quarter. We're going to have a giant record year, and InfiniBand has a really NVIDIA's quantum InfiniBand has an exceptional roadmap. It's going to be really incredible. The two networks are very different. InfiniBand is designed for an AI factory, if you will. If that data center is running a few applications for a few people for a specific use case, and it's doing it continuously, and that infrastructure costs you, pick a number, $500 million. The difference between InfiniBand and Ethernet could be 15-20% in overall throughput. And if you spent $500 million in an infrastructure and the difference is 10 to 20%, and it's $100 million, InfiniBand is basically free. That's the reason why people use it. InfiniBand is effectively free. The difference in data center throughput is just, it's too great to ignore. And you're using it for that one application. And so, however, if your data center is a cloud data center and it's multi-tenant, it's a bunch of little jobs, and it's shared by millions of people, then Ethernet's really the right answer. There's a new segment in the middle where the cloud is becoming a generative AI cloud. It's not an AI factory per se, but it's still a multi-tenant cloud, but it wants to run generative AI workloads. This new segment is a wonderful opportunity. And at Computex, I referred to it at the last GTC. At Computex, we're going to announce a major product line for this segment, which is for Ethernet-focused generative AI application type of clouds. But InfiniBand is doing fantastically, and we're doing record numbers, quarter on quarter, year on year.
Next, we'll go to Stacy Rasgon with Bernstein Research. Your line's open.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my question. I had a question on inference versus training for generative AI. So you're talking about inference as being a very large opportunity. I guess two subparts of that. Is that because inference basically scales with like the usage versus like training is more of a one and done? And can you give us some sort of, even if it's just like a, qualitatively, like if do you think inference is bigger than training or vice versa? And like if it's bigger, how much bigger? Is it like, is the opportunity, is it 5x? Is it 10x? Is there anything you can give us on those two workloads within generative AI would be helpful.
Yeah, I'll work backwards. You're never done with training. You're always every time you deploy, you're collecting new data. When you collect new data, you train with the new data, and so you're never done training. You're never done producing and processing a vector database that augments the large language model. You're never done with vectorizing all of the collected, structured, unstructured data that you have. And so whether you're building a recommender system, a large language model, a vector database, these are probably the three major applications of the three core engines, if you will, of the future of computing. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, but obviously these are three very important ones. They're always running. You're going to see that more and more companies realize they have a factory for intelligence, an intelligence factory, and in that particular case, it's largely dedicated to training and processing data and vectorizing data and learning representation of the data, so on and so forth. The inference part of it are APIs that are either open APIs that can be connected to all kinds of applications, APIs that are integrated into workflows, but APIs of all kinds. There'll be hundreds of APIs in a company. Some of them they built themselves. Some of them many of them could come from companies like ServiceNow and Adobe that we're partnering with in AI Foundations. And they'll create a whole bunch of generative AI APIs that companies can then connect into their workflows or use as an application. And of course, there'll be a whole bunch of internet service companies. And so I think you're seeing for the very first time simultaneously a very significant growth in the segment of AI factories, as well as a segment that really didn't exist before, but now it's growing exponentially, practically by the week, for AI inference with APIs. The simple way to think about it in the end is that the world has $1 trillion of data center installed, and it used to be 100% CPUs. In the future, we know we've heard it in enough places, and I think this year's ISC keynote was actually about the end of Moore's law. We've seen it in a lot of places now that you can't reasonably scale out data centers with general purpose computing, and that accelerated computing is the path forward. And now it's got a killer app. It's called generative AI. And so the easiest way to think about that is your $1 trillion infrastructure. Every quarter's CapEx budget would lean very heavily into generative AI, into accelerated computing infrastructure, everywhere from the number of GPUs that would be used in the CapEx budget to the accelerated switches and accelerated networking chips that connect them all. The easiest way to think about that is over the next 4, 5, 10 years, most of that $1 trillion, and then compensating, adjusting for all the growth in data centers still, it will be largely generative AI. And so that's probably the easiest way to think about that, and that's training as well as inference.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Joseph Moore with Morgan Stanley. Your line's open.
Great, thank you. I wanted to follow up on that. In terms of the focus on inference, it's pretty clear that this is a really big opportunity around large language models, but the cloud customers are also talking about trying to reduce cost per query by very significant amounts. You can talk about the ramifications of that for you guys. Is that where some of the specialty inference products that you launched at GTC come in, and just how are you going to help your customers get the cost per query down?
Yeah, that's a great question. Whether you start by building a large language model, and you use that large language model, very large version, and you could distill them into medium, small, and tiny size. And the tiny size ones you could put in your phone and your PC and so on and so forth. And they all have good, they all have it seems surprising, but they all can do the same thing. But obviously the zero shot or the generalizability of the large language model, the biggest one, is much more versatile, and it can do a lot more amazing things. And the large one would teach the smaller ones how to be good AIs. And so you use the large one to generate prompts to align the smaller ones, and so on and so forth. And so you start by building very large ones, and then you also have to train a whole bunch of smaller ones. That's exactly the reason why we have so many different sizes of our inference. You saw that I announced L4, L40, H100 NVL, which also has H100, and then it has, and then we have H100 HGX, and then we have H100 multi-node, with NVLink. And so there's you could have model sizes of any kind that you like. The other thing that's important is these are models, but they're connected ultimately to applications, and the applications could have image in, video out, video in, text out, image in, proteins out, text in, 3D out, video in the future, 3D graphics out. So the input and the output requires a lot of pre and post processing. The pre and post processing can't be ignored, and this is one of the things that most of the specialized chip arguments fall apart, and it's because the model itself is only, call it 25% of the data of the overall processing of inference. The rest of it is about pre-processing, post-processing, security, decoding, all kinds of things like that. And so I think the multimodality aspect of inference, the multi-diversity of inference, that it's going to be done in the cloud, on-prem, it's going to be done in multi-cloud. That's the reason why we have NVIDIA AI Enterprise in all the clouds. It's going to be done on-prem. It's the reason why we have a great partnership with Dell. We just announced the other day, called Project Helix. It's going to be integrated into third-party services. That's the reason why we have a great partnership with ServiceNow and Adobe, because they're going to be creating a whole bunch of generative AI capabilities. And so there's the diversity and the reach of generative AI is so broad. You need to have some very fundamental capabilities like what I just described in order to really address the whole space of it.
Next, we'll go to Harlan Sur with J.P. Morgan. Your line's open.
Hi, good afternoon, and congratulations on the strong results and execution. I really appreciate more of the focus or some of the focus today on your networking products. I mean, it's really an integral part to sort of maximize the full performance of your compute platforms. I think your data center networking business is driving about $1 billion of revenues per quarter, plus or minus. That's 2.5x growth from 3 years ago, right, when you guys acquired Mellanox, so very strong growth. But given the very high attach of your InfiniBand Ethernet solutions to your accelerated compute platforms, is the networking run rate stepping up in line with your compute shipments? And then what is the team doing to further unlock more networking bandwidth going forward, just to keep pace with the significant increase in compute complexity, data sets, requirements for lower latency, better traffic predictability, and so on?
Yeah, Harlan, I really appreciate that. Nearly everybody who thinks about AI, they think about that chip, that accelerator chip, and in fact misses the whole point nearly completely. And I've mentioned before that accelerated computing is about the stack, about the software, and networking. Remember, we announced very early on this networking stack called Doka, and we have a acceleration library called Magnum IO. These two pieces of software are some of the crown jewels of our company. Nobody ever talks about it because it's hard to understand, but it makes it possible for us to connect, tens of thousands of GPUs. How do you connect tens of thousands of GPUs if the operating system of the data center, which is the infrastructure, is not insanely great? And so that's the reason why we're so obsessed about networking in the company. And one of the great things that we have Mellanox, as you know quite well, was the world's highest performance and the unambiguous leader in high performance networking. Is the reason why our two companies are together. You also see that our network expands starting from NVLink, which is a computing fabric with really super low latency, and it communicates using memory references, not network packets. And then we take NVLink, we connect it inside multiple GPUs, and I've described going beyond the GPU. And I'll talk a lot more about that at Computex in a few days. And then that gets connected to InfiniBand, which includes the NIC, the smart NIC, Bluefield 3 that we're in full production with, and the switches, all of the fiber optics that are optimized end to end. These things are running at incredible line rates. And then beyond that, if you want to connect the smart AI factory, this AI factory into your computing fabric, we have a brand new type of Ethernet that we'll be announcing at Computex. And so this whole area of the computing fabric, connecting all of these GPUs and computing units together, all the way through the networking, through the switches, the software stack is insanely complicated. And so I'm delighted you understand it. But this, we don't break it out particularly because we think of the whole thing as a computing platform, as it should be. We sell it to all of the world's data centers as components so that they can integrate it into whatever style or architecture that they would like, and we can still run our software stack. That's the reason why we break it up. It's way more complicated the way that we do it, but it makes it possible for NVIDIA's computing architecture to be integrated into anybody's data center in the world, from cloud of all different kinds to on-prem of all different kinds, all the way out to the edge to 5G. And so this way of doing it is really complicated, but it gives us incredible reach.
And our last question will come from Matt Ramsay with TD Cowen. Your line's open.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Jensen, and to the whole team. One of the things I wanted to dig into a little bit is the DGX cloud offering. You guys have been working on this for some time behind the scenes, where you sell in the hardware to your hyperscale partners and then lease it back for your own business. And the rest of us kind of found out about it publicly a few months ago. And as we look forward over the next number of quarters, as Colette discussed, to high visibility in the data center business, maybe you could talk a little bit about the mix you're seeing of hyperscale customers buying for their own first-party internal workloads versus their own sort of third-party, their own customers, versus what of that big upside in data center going forward is systems that you're selling in with potential to support your DGX cloud offerings, and what you've learned since you've launched it about the potential of that business. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. It's without being too specific about numbers, but the ideal scenario, the ideal mix is something like 10% NVIDIA DGX cloud and 90% the CSP's clouds. And the reason and our DGX cloud is the NVIDIA stack. It's the pure NVIDIA stack. It is architected the way we like and achieves the best possible performance. It gives us the ability to partner very deeply with the CSPs to create the highest performing infrastructure, number one. Number two, it allows us to partner with the CSPs to create markets. Like, for example, we're partnering with Azure to bring Omniverse Cloud to the world's industries. And the world's never had a system like that. The computing stack, with all the generative AI stuff and all the 3D stuff and the physics stuff, incredibly large database and really high-speed networks and low latency networks. That kind of a industrial virtual world has never existed before. And so we partnered with Microsoft to create Omniverse Cloud inside Azure Cloud. And so it allows us, number two, to create new applications together and develop new markets together. And we go to market as one team, and we benefit by getting customers on our computing platform, and they benefit by having us in their cloud, number one. But number two, the amount of data and services and security services and all all of the amazing things that Azure and GCP and OCI have, they can instantly have access to that through Omniverse Cloud. And so it's a huge win-win. And for the customers, the way that NVIDIA's cloud works, for these early applications, they could do it anywhere. So one standard stack runs in all the clouds. And if they would like to take their software and run it on the CSP's cloud themselves and manage it themselves, we're delighted by that, because NVIDIA AI Enterprise, NVIDIA AI Foundations, and long term, this is going to take a little longer, but NVIDIA Omniverse will run into CSP's clouds. Okay, so our goal really is to drive architecture, to partner deeply in creating new markets and the new applications that we're doing, and provide our customers with the flexibilities to run NVIDIA everywhere, including on-prem. And so those were the primary reasons for it, and it's worked out incredibly. Our partnership with the three CSPs and that we currently have DGX Cloud in, and their sales force and marketing teams, their leadership teams, is really quite spectacular. It works great.
Thank you. I'll now turn it back over to Jensen Huang for closing remarks.
The computer industry is going through two simultaneous transitions: accelerated computing and generative AI. CPU scaling has slowed, yet computing demand is strong. And now with generative AI, supercharged. Accelerated computing, a full stack and data center scale approach that NVIDIA pioneered, is the best path forward. There's $1 trillion installed in the global data center infrastructure based on the general purpose computing method of the last era. Companies are now racing to deploy accelerated computing for the generative AI era. Over the next decade, most of the world's data centers will be accelerated. We are significantly increasing our supply to meet their surging demand. Large language models can learn information and code it in many forms. Guided by large language models, generative AI models can generate amazing content. And with models to fine-tune, guardrail, align to guiding principles, and ground to facts, generative AI is emerging from labs and is on its way to industrial applications. As we scale with cloud and internet service providers, we are also building platforms for the world's largest enterprises. Whether within one of our CSP partners or on-prem with Dell Helix, whether on a leading enterprise platform like ServiceNow and Adobe, or bespoke with NVIDIA AI Foundations, we can help enterprises leverage their domain expertise and data to harness generative AI securely and safely. We are ramping a wave of products in the coming quarters, including H100, our Grace and Grace Hopper super chips, and our Bluefield 3 and Spectrum 4 networking platform. They are all in production. They will help deliver data center scale computing that is also energy efficient and sustainable computing. Join us next week at Computex and we'll show you what's next. Thank you.
This concludes today's conference call. You may now disconnect.
All right, guys. So that is the earnings call for Nvidia. Let me know what you guys think. Nvidia's still pumping up at about 390. He's hit 395. So shout out to the guy that bought puts ahead of this, man. So shout out to him. He's probably doing pretty good right now, hitting everything. So hey, I hope you're making some money, sir. Good job, dude. Again, guys, we are going to do a crypto show today. So we are going to be doing a crypto show today. So stick around. And so we are going to be talking about crypto. Give me about, give me about a minute and a half. Again, if you want to check out Top Step is the way to day trade some of this momentum without taking on too much risk. It really is a way, like, new traders lose money most of the time, right? You can take a funded account program. If you lose, you're only down the subscription cost to it. If you pass it, you still keep 90% of your profit once funded. Right now, there's a 30% off sale going on, so you can get it for 30% off, which is very cheap. It's like 120 something bucks. And so check it out, guys. Great way to help support the channel. We appreciate the love. And let's go ahead and take a look at what the crypto market is doing. Here is the link for Top Step. Again, great way to help support the channel. Here's the 30% off link. Yeah, guys, again, as soon as we close down the stream, literally as soon as we close this stream, it's going to immediately bring you to our crypto channel. When you get to the crypto channel, guys, be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Again, we cover all the big stuff live here, of course, like we always do. So again, if you haven't already, hit the sub button on the crypto channel. Again, as soon as we close this stream, as soon as we end it, it's going to bring you to the new stream. So yeah, we'll see you guys over there. If you can't, for whatever reason, find the stream, you can go to youtube.com/beginnercrypto. We are going to post this link here so you can check it out. So again, it's youtube.com/beginnercrypto is the crypto link. Yeah, I'll see you guys over there. Again, be safe in the market, guys. We appreciate the love and support. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there. Y'all stay safe, man. Again, let me know where you guys think Nvidia is going to head tomorrow. So let me know where you think Nvidia is going to head tomorrow. And yeah, we're getting ready to start the show pretty soon. Right now, yeah, sorry, just getting everything scheduled here, to be honest. There we go. There's the crypto show. All right, yeah, so we're sharing the show right now. And I'll see you guys over there. Again, youtube.com/beginnercrypto. Sorry, sharing it now.